Hey guys, just continuing the conversation about my preparation for Badwater 135, which it's hard to believe it's just a week away. So, about this time next Monday night, I'll be getting in the van with my crew and heading out to the start line and for 135 miles across the Mojave Desert, which is going to be crazy. I've been watching the forecast and it shows that temperatures are going to be anywhere from 120 to 126, depending on what website I look at. So I think the bottom line is it's going to be really hot. But, I was out there doing a training run, and one of the things I sort of realized, it's not just the extreme heat, which yes, it's going to be really hot, but it's also really dry out there. So the humidity is less than 10%. So it really just completely dries you out. So yesterday we talked a little bit about my plans for nutrition, and I thought today I would share with you my plans for hydration, because I think hydration is probably the most critical part of finishing the race, because once you get dehydrated, especially in those conditions, if you don't stay on top of it, it's just really, really hard to ever catch up. So, um, my first plan is to see my crew every 2 or 3 miles, and every single time I see them, to just be dousing with water and putting ice in my hat and just doing everything I can to keep water on my body, because it is so dry out there. If you can just get moisture on you, if you can just stay wet, with spray bottles and things like that, it will cool you off. And it dries really, really quickly. So that's my first plan, is just to try not to overheat by staying, just doused with water every single time I see my crew every couple miles. The other plan is just to drink, drink, drink every single time. I have water in my hands or on me, because it has got to be something you're just constantly thinking about, so you stay on top of it. Um, my preferred method whenever I'm doing these long races are these handhelds. So this particular handheld, I like it for a couple different reasons. First of all, as you can see, I'm not even really holding it; it's just anchored to my hand. So it's great because after 30 hours of running with a water bottle, your arm gets tired. But if you can just anchor it like this to your hand, it really saves. It just saves some wear and tear on the body. The other thing I like about it is this is insulated, which out in the desert, out in the heat and the sun, really helps it from getting hot. And then it's got an extra pocket on here if I need to throw a gel in or something like that. So these handhelds are great. These are 20 ounces. So when I was doing my training run last month, I was ingesting anywhere from probably around 50 ounces an hour. So I know when I'm out there, okay, this is 20 ounces. I need to be drinking 2.5 of these every single hour. I had a hard time staying on top of my hydration with 50 ounces an hour. So if I can do 3 of these an hour and do 60 ounces an hour, that would be great. But there's only so much fluid that your body can process. So, but I love these. I know exactly how much I'm taking in, and there's an incentive to drink it, because the more you drink, the lighter it gets, which is a little bit easier on the body when you're just lugging water around. So I'll use some of these. It's also really quick to transition, so I can just hand this to my crew and they can hand me a fresh bottle and I can keep going. Some people really like hydration packs, and in certain circumstances I like them also. If maybe it's 10, 12, 15 miles during a rugged trail race before you're going to have access to water, hydration packs are really good. This is a brand I like. It's called Ultra Aspire. It has sternum straps and it anchors really closely to the body. So when you've got it full of water, it's not just sloshing around all over the place. So I really, really like the Ultra Aspire. And this has got a 2-liter bladder, which this is about 70 ounces, and then you just drink out of a straw. Um, the reason I may not use it at Badwater is because, first of all, it's really hard to tell how much you're drinking, because you're drinking through a straw, and it's all of the hydration, all the water is in a backpack behind you. So it's sort of hard to gauge exactly how much you're drinking. Whereas with a handheld, I know it's 20 ounces. I need to drain that bottle every single time I see my crew. Also with this, if you do need to switch it out, you've got to kind of get out of it and you've got to take the whole thing apart, and it just takes a little bit more time. So the handhelds are a little bit easier to go. But hydration pack, sometimes you just get tired of holding something in your hands and you want your hands free. So I'm still going to have my hydration pack out there so that it's an option if I want to switch over. And then when you're ingesting all of this water, which I do, I usually do water instead of sports drink, because sometimes the sports drink sometimes it's you mix and it's a little weak. Sometimes it's really concentrated. So I find that it's hard to really get precise measurements on how much electrolytes you're ingesting. So I use three different products. These are called S caps. There's a lot of different salt tablets out there, but with the tablet, I know exactly how much I'm getting when I take that tablet. So this is great. There's also this product called Noon. There's all different flavors. And again, you can put it in a water bottle. You know exactly how much electrolytes you're getting. So, and there's again some different flavors. And then if I get really behind, then there's actually some salt called base salt, which you take sublingually. So if I know I have not, if I know I'm low on electrolytes, I can just put this under my tongue and it dissolves in the bloodstream and it's really quick. So again, I think staying on top of hydration is probably the most critical part of the race because that's the way your body cools itself. And when it's 120 or 126 degrees out there and really dry, it's easy to really get into some trouble and you can do some damage. You can actually damage your kidneys. So, but that's not going to happen because I've got a game plan and I'm glad I was able to share it with you.